Okay, so everybody sees my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, I want to do a short introduction on OpenContent. OpenContent, yeah, the question, of course, is what is OpenContent? That's the first one. Well, it's actually a template-driven module for DNN to help users create content in a structured manner. It started out as a HTML module replacement because, well, you can do anything in an HTML module and mess up stuff really good. It should be easy for end users to edit content. So that was the main goal actually. So from how can we have our content managers have the work done easily and still have a good looking site. So in our case, we hardly ever use the HTML module anymore, but almost everything we do, if it's let's say a presentation type site with open content. So in the database, content is done in records. So and that can either be individual items, I come to that later, or a complete module content. It's all in JSON. So also the schema definitions, and I will show that later. The rendering is done either with Razor or Handlebars, and that usually goes server side. So that means that if you got immense amount of data, you don't want to do that server side. But so then you can also do that client side using APIs. But that's not what I'm going to focus on today. I have here some document examples, documentation. So we're going over some documents. So the main is, of course, the README and IO docs. And we have some example sites. This one used to be Sasha's main example sites, but it got hacked because it was not updated correctly. But it's you will build that later. But for our perspective, so 40 Fingers, so that's our company from Stefan, Timo, and I. We have a big set of examples, and we have also some smaller ones that are sort of you can use right away. So they are on GitHub, so you can take them off, and I will go over the content, some examples what we did with OpenContent. Let's see. So OpenContent is a template system. And if you're going to use OpenContent, the first thing you do is either get some templates. So in this particular site here, we have very many basic examples from all kinds of stuff which is possible with OpenContent, and I will show a little bit of them. So when we go back to that other site, then we'll see here a Razor example. And when you look at how that works, first of all, it got this is the user interface an administrator can use. So we got a form builder, and the form builder just uses simple field additions. So if I want to add a field, in this case, I have a list object it's called columns, but we can do, for instance, let me say, let's put another one, a simple thing, and so in the field type is text. So if we add that to this specific template, I can save it, and if I go into edit mode, then you see we now have a field called name that you can edit. The other one was a list item in itself. So in this particular case, we have a single item template. So that single item means that it is stored in the database as one specific item, no individual records. We can also have multiple items. And when you look at the template, so we got the form builder where you can use all kinds of fields. So what we see here is the types of fields. So we have all kinds of fields here, selects, radio buttons, numbers, URL, well, whatever. But also things like list-based items. So what is a list-based item? An array, for instance, or what have we got more than that? No, that's an array is the main one. So you can have in a single item content template, you can still have multiple items. And that is what you saw here in this, when you go to an edit, you see one item, two item. If you want another, I can say, okay, another one, for instance. Let's see, Feyenoord. So, and we get an image, then I'm going to select that from my pictures. Not that one, so I can add this one. So now I've got this description. So, and now you will see that we have 3 items. Oh, this one the same image, so that doesn't really matter. So that is one example of a template. When you look at the template, this is we got here the Razor version, and you can go to edit template files, and then you can see the templates we have. This is the Razor version, but we can also have an alternative version, and that's, for instance, the Handlebars version. And when you look at this structure, you see here the template. You have the schema and the options. That is what defines the template, and you can have a bit more. I can switch this template. So if I can, the function is here, switch template, and so you can use the same content on different pages using alternative templates. So in this case, I have also made this was the starter demo module. I have also the Handlebars version, and when I save this, now it's got the same version. But if you look at the content of the template itself, you see something else. You see handlebars. So in this case, you have that's what you had, of course, in Razor as well. For each column, we make a block object. So in this case, this handlebars. So you can easily mix and match whatever you want. So for non-programmers that do a bit of, well, maybe front-end guys, they can much easier work with handlebars. At least that is our that's what we see, because handlebars is easier to work with. You have less problems with null values and stuff like that, because null values are always blank. In Razor, null values usually crashes your template. So if you're a developer, that's of course no problem, because you know what you're doing. But for people that have less experience, they are really struggling. Let's see some more. You can do anything. You can create banners like this. So when you look at this banner, you see it got a title with a bit more. You can also have all kinds of conditions. So in this case, the description. You can do stuff like background colors, and you can change the height. So whatever you can think of, you can do here in a template. And you can see when I go to the template file, you can see that you have an unless option in handlebars. You have if statements. And so if some field, in this case, if it's image only, so no text, then you do this, and image location equal left. So you can really build a nice template. And for the content manager, he only has to edit the stuff which interests him. So it's really easy, and you can really make life easier for them. But you can also do a lot more. For instance, you can also use data providers. So in this case, I have the data provider. And when we go to the template, you will see, let's see here. In this case, this template has a manifest. And the manifest sort of describes what the template can do, what kind of alternative templates you have, and what for types. So for instance, we have a type called template, multiple template types. So each item is then an individual record in the OpenContent table. But you have, in this case, you'll see that we have a data source, that's the DNN users. So you can display all the DNN users in the site. You can also say, okay, we can filter what kind of roles you want to have. So that's, in this case, so you have a simple, the manifest describes how the template is structured. And when you look at the template itself, let me see, then you have here the main template. So, and you see here we have a sub template as well. So we go to the item, and then this sub template contains the items. So for each item, we do this. So we have a first name, last name, user ID. And if you don't want something, you can simply remove it and save and close. And now the user ID is gone. So you can do a lot. So in this case, you can also make your own data providers, or you can use some, let me say, maybe I have here as well. No, I don't have that here. You can make a SQL. Yeah, well, if you can do Razor, you can do anything. So, and then you can grab content or information from any table you want. When you look at multiple items, so we had a single item and multiple items, you see it looks a bit different because now we have not an edit button, but an add button. So, and that sort of describes that you can have multiple items and not one. You have here the edit button on that item. So that is what you can do. For multiple items, you can also do filtering and integrate it with search. Well, that's when you do filtering, let's see, where it's filtering. Okay, so I don't see it, but there usually is a filter button. Yeah. So this is, yeah, I have to look that up. You could also do all kinds of crazy stuff with OpenContent. For instance, here I have a table structure. That is a table structure which, and when I go to edit mode, I simply upload an Excel file, and that Excel file is displayed here. So when you look at the template, what's actually happening? Well, the template file uses Sheet.js as a way to get process the Excel file, and then with tabulator I show it in a table. Of course, this stuff is mostly about processing user JavaScript for displaying this particular table. So in this case, you have a lot of JavaScript inside your template, and it simply displays that table. But of course, this is very nice if you need to have a simple way for an editor to upload an Excel file and just display the content. So what else do we got? Well, of course, lots of templates that do stuff like photo galleries. You can simply use whatever kind of JavaScript system you want to use, and then you have a photo gallery. There are some other fancy stuff you can do with it. For instance, this one I found particularly interesting. What Timo had made. Timo really disliked the search results page. So what did he do? He created a OpenContent template to display search results. So if you go, if we're going to search for Apple in this case, you got two hits, um, and it just displays apples, and it uses the DNN search because this is the result of the DNN search in a particular way to display a very small list of search results with all the without all the DNN stuff. So this demo site, you can see lots of examples on all kinds of things what you can do. So for instance, here you got one with filter and ordering. Oh, this not this one. And was let's see, got it here one. Yeah. Here you can, for instance, in the user interface, you can add something that you can just drag and drop the order of a template of an item in well, that's yeah, in your site. So I'm gonna leave it with this. There's yeah, we can talk about it for hours, but it's not the goal of this day. So I'm gonna stop sharing and I give the floor to you.
It was great to see that last one you showed. I was just playing with that yesterday on the DNN community site. I added an entry to the DNN history, and it took me a while to figure out I could drag them up and down because, of course, it added at the end of the list, and I was not paying attention to the little icon in the corner. So it was nice to see you
Yeah,
demo the
that's
exact one I was just playing with.
yeah. So this is yeah. So you can do a lot. So there are lots of stuff which you can do with OpenContent. And of course, it's yeah, it's an alternative to the Too Sexy module. It's just two different guys taking a different approach for structured content management.
And it's using like Handlebars as a JS framework. It's actually using that. Is it bringing it on as a CDN, or is it loading it directly in a specific version, or is it a customized version of
Uh,
their own Handlebars?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's yeah, it's a customized version that Sasha includes in OpenContent.
Can maybe
So and
answer.
what? Ah, you can answer, yes.
No, in or what you see, it's a server-side handlebars. It's a
Yes.
.NET library, uh, open source library that implements handlebars server-side.
Okay. Oh, it is running server side. It's not client
Yes,
side.
yes.
Oh, that's great that you said that. I was completely assuming that it was switching and running on the front end.
No, 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 no.
I didn't know
It's
that.
real
Thank
server-side.
you.
Yeah.
Hope somebody else learns from that because I did not know. I completely assumed it was front end.
And
Nice.
the advantage, the benefit is also that you have some more secure templates. Uh,
Right.
because you cannot write C# in these templates, so you can give them easier to end users or site administrators.
Yeah, given my background, I've found it very easy to learn. I've been in a few situations on the DNN community site where I noticed something and needed to fix it and was able to very quickly figure things out and get them fixed. So I've kind of been a quiet appreciator of it for a while. It's very organized.
Yeah, well, does it make coffee?
I bet
Um,
someone would figure that out if you asked seriously enough. Coffee. All right, does anyone else have questions?
No, but
If not,
I just wanna really thank Peter for joining us and giving this time to share and have some content about open content modules. Thank you, man.
yeah, I'm
you're
actually
welcome.
really appreciative that we switched the time of day and three of you guys from Europe showed up. I really appreciate it. In the future, if you guys want to do your own version of this, contact me offline and we'll join as guests and you guys can do your own thing. own this format. And if you've noticed, the main reason we did this is because we're clipping each demo and putting them on YouTube. It's generating some modern content for DNN, which we think is a big benefit. And especially as people move forward with things like the MVC pipeline, that will provide a lot of opportunities for people to share smaller pieces of things. Because I don't know how you guys feel, but every time you see a 1-hour demo of something presented in the DNN community and it gets very detailed and technical, I know a lot of people who do not watch it. So we want to keep these demos short. Anyhow, I'm off topic and in sales mode. So if you guys want to do something like this on your own or keep joining us, we plan to do this time of day every 3 months. Let's continue on with the next demo unless someone else has something to comment on or have a question.
Just one quick question, if I might.
Sure.
Can OpenContent do like inner content in the same way that Too Sexy does, where you have like apps within apps type of thing?
Well, I'm not quite understand what you're saying, but you can share content, that's for sure. So if you generate content, for instance, in an article database block, for instance, a block, you can manipulate that in any way you want, filter them in any way you want, and show them on different pages. But it's not the OpenContent does not use the same architectural philosophy as Too Sexy does. So it's a different beast, but you can do content is linked to a module because that's how OpenContent works. But a multi-item template can be used can be used in very different ways.
Okay, thanks.